This is the audiobook sample for The Day the End Began, Days of the Apocalypse, Book 1, Days of the Apocalypse, by Mark E. Fisher. This is my 51st audiobook, and it was released on September 16th, 2022. I hope you enjoy this audiobook sample. The rest of her pregnancy she spent in jail, until a week ago, when someone, they had to be from the League, arranged for her release. Last week, she returned home. 2 days ago, a taxi rushed her to the hospital. Then came birth pains so terrible, screams so intense, she thought she was dying. The doctors were worried, and after the birth, they sedated her and kept her overnight. This morning, she'd parted the cloth, had a good look at her kid, and gasped. Never had she seen such a beautiful baby. That such a wondrous creature had come from her body, a body she'd abused so often and so long, was amazing. Then the child, her child, had opened his eyes. He'd been born only yesterday, and already he opened his eyes. And when Devato's glance caught hers, for that most unusual name just popped into her head, unbidden, she'd been so mesmerized, so struck with wonder at the beauty and intelligence behind those blue orbs, she knew she could never give him up. Now, the taxi dropped her off in the busy street below her building, a 3-story ancient structure with crumbling bricks long in need of repair. She paid the man, hugged her bundle close, and hurried past the graffiti, the discarded needles, the urine smell, and up the stone steps, dark with age and mold. Once inside, she locked the door. She'd had only a week to prepare for her baby's arrival, and now she looked around for somewhere to put him. Her place had only 2 rooms, a kitchen with a table, and a room doubling as bedroom and living room. The bed would do, and there she laid him. As she did, his little eyes opened again, fixing hers with a stare so uncanny and hinting of intellect, it unnerved her. "Still, you are a cute little baby, Devato." She ran a hand across his cheek. "And I'm going to keep you. But tomorrow, we'll have to move. I'm not going to let anyone take you." Glad to be home again, she breathed deeply, threw off her coat, and went to the kitchen. Grabbing a bottle of amaretto, she poured a glass. She was taking her first swallow when the door slammed open, a door she'd just locked. Sloshing yellow-brown liquid, she dropped the glass on the counter, then ran into the next room. A grinning Drago stood between her and the bed, and her breath caught. 2 figures wearing hoods entered the room behind him. The first threw off a cowl, revealing a man of about 40, clean-shaven, with thinning white hair, pockmarked cheeks, and gaunt, hollow eyes that bored into hers. You have no right to be here." Her voice wavered. "And you can't take my baby." "Don't be difficult, Giacchetta." Drago reached down to lift Devato from the bed. "Your child has a great future in store for him, but not with you." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "You can't do this." "We can, and we must, Signorina Violante." The older man spoke with words as smooth as honey. "We'll give him nothing but the best. Wealth and comfort. The best education in the best schools. When he's older, he'll drink the best wines, eat at the best restaurants, stay at the best hotels. We'll introduce him to men of power and influence, guiding him every step of the way. He will lack for nothing." The woman threw off her hood, revealing mousy brown hair and a narrow nose. Ignoring Giacchetta, she spoke to the man. "If the time is right, he could be the greatest leader the world has ever known. We've waited so long for this. Over 2,000 years. The signs are all there. Could he really be the one?" Scowling, the man raised a hand for silence. Chastened, the woman faced Giacchetta. "Your job is done, Signorina. Don't stand in the way of your child's destiny." Drago laid the baby in the woman's arms, and the smile that stranger rained upon little Devato sent a shiver down Giacchetta's back. She took a defiant step toward them. "No, he's mine. You can't do this." "But it's already done," said Drago. "And before we go, I have something for you." From his jacket pocket, he removed a black pistol. As the metal thudded onto the wooden end table beside her bed, she stared at the weapon. "Why did you put that there?" Grinning, Drago stepped toward the door. "I believe you'll need this after we leave." A link to purchase The Day the End Began is in the description. This title was a royalty share production, so I make 20% from any purchases. Thanks for listening.